Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we shall begin now. Principal, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Yeah. So, uh, good morning, everyone. This is Assistant Professor Rudresh Mamal. I welcome you for this guest lecture on resume building. I request Principal, sir, to say a few words on this occasion.
Hello, good morning. In fact, on behalf of Vidya Prabodhini College of Commerce, Education, Computer and Management, let me first of all welcome our guest speaker of the day, Professor Atul Sathe, who is a well-known speaker in this area. He has engaged many such lectures on different issues concerning the development of the students. And in fact, I was told by Mr. Arun Marathe that you have engaged many such sessions before also for our college. So on behalf of our college, I take pride in welcoming you, sir, for this session. We will continue this association not only for this lecture, this session, but also in the coming days, actually, not virtually, but actually in the physical mode, also to invite you to Goa and have a personal interaction with our students. Dear virtual listeners of this and participant students, Vidya Prabodhini is a budding college in Goa, neither supported by the minors nor a government college, but is totally, backed up by the people who are enthusiastic, who are having long tradition of education in their families, and who are striving for the all-round development of the students. Just founded in 2012, within 8 or 9 years, Vidya Prabodhini College has achieved many academic heights and it has got many laurels. We had been accredited by NEC for the first cycle in 2018, and again now we will be accredited by NEC in the next two years, 2023. In fact, right from the beginning, as I have seen the history of this college, although I have joined this college very recently, I have seen the attempt of the staff members, the management, and the principal is, of course, to look into the matter that the student's personality is developed in all the ways. It's an all-round development of the personality of the students, which is focused by the management, staff, and students of this college. So I'm very happy that this is a, what we will say, very relevant topic that you have chosen. Resume building, which is very important. It is not just resume writing, it is building of the resume. I like the topic, framing of the sentence. One has to start at this age only, as I always tell my students that really after when you cross 18 years of your age, the next 7 or 8 years of your life are like the investment that you make for the further life, to make the further life resourceful, meaningful, and fruitful. So in this connection, this lecture by Mr. Sathe on the topic resume building will be very important for you. I request all my students to take active part, not only in listening, but also in the interaction, in the question hour session. You have to, get clear all your doubts and give all your suggestions to the speaker so that he also has some inputs in from the session and you are also benefited. So with these few words, I congratulate Mr. Arun Marathe and the coordinator of this session, my colleague Rudresh Mamal, for organizing this lecture in the virtual mode. And I, in fact, welcome all the participants that are virtually joined this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now let me introduce to you today's guest speaker, Professor Atul Sathe. Professor Atul Sathe is an assistant professor at HR College of Commerce and Economics. His experience is more than 13 years. He is a ICWA rank holder with NET and MCOM in accountancy. He has co-authored 18 textbooks in mutual fund, technical analysis, financial accounting, and cost accounting, etc. Professor Sathe has published numerous articles and research papers at national and international level seminars and conferences. He has been part of delegation to New York and Dubai campus of SP Jain to study learning and evaluation pattern. Professor Sate has been invited to speak on various occasions at different levels relating these issues, and he is an expert in resume building. So on behalf of Department of Commerce of Vidya Prabodhini College of Commerce, Education, Computer and Management, I welcome you, sir, and I request you to please take over this session. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, and warm welcome to this particular session on resume building. At outset, let me take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude towards the management of Vidya Prabodhini College for having a vision to impart skills and knowledge outside the curriculum and syllabus amongst the students. So I must acknowledge and appreciate the initiatives, various initiatives taken by Vidya Prabodhini College for holistic development and growth of their students. I'll be feeling in my duty if I do not acknowledge my gratitude towards the principal sir, faculty coordinator for this particular session, Arun Marathe sir and Rudresh sir, for constant support and cooperation which they have offered to conduct this kind of a program for all the students of Vidya Prabodhini College, Goa. I accept Principal Sir's invitation wholeheartedly. No one will say if they are invited to Goa, I'm sure, is a place of a lot of things which are happening around. And it's a fun place is what I understand. I have been to Goa, but never got opportunity to visit Vidya Prabodhini College for that matter. But next visit, I'm sure that I will be visiting your bright campus. And I can feel all the vibrant students and the energy that we always have in Goa and in your college campus also for that matter. So thank you so much once again for having me here. And let me just share the screen so that we can start off. I'm going to keep it very precise and concise so that I can allow more time for students to ask their questions, queries, etc., etc. So let me just share the screen and we'll immediately start off. But before I start off, I have certain questions for all the students, and I expect them to answer it in the chat box, because if they unmute, it possibly may create a little bit of chaos. So I'll start with questions which I have jotted for all of you. Very simple questions. There is nothing right or wrong answer about it. You are not going to get evaluated on those questions. So feel free to answer, express your thoughts, share your comments on the questions which I'm asking. And that will lay down foundation for my session that I'm going to conduct today. So my first question to you is, how many of you have already prepared your CV? Please you can just answer as yes or no. Anyone would like to answer in the chat box? It's a very easy question. How many of you have already prepared your CV? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm getting mixed answers. Some of them are saying yes. Many of them are saying no. Fair. Okay. How many of you have prepared? Okay. No is getting a majority now. Fair. How many of you have prepared your resume? It's a different question for you. Now you have to answer yes or no again separately.
So what is the difference between resume and CV?
Absolutely right. Bang on. Abhishek Pandit has raised this question, and this is the only question for which I was asking this, because many times we get confused and we use a lot of terminologies which are synonyms to each other. Now today, one of the agenda that I have set is to make you understand the difference between some terms which are used as samanarthi or synonyms to each other. Okay, I have another question before I proceed further. I want you to put your email IDs in the chat box without saying whether they are Gmail or Yahoo or anything. Only the first part that comes before @ If some of you can just put it willingly, don't worry, I will not email it to you because you are anyways not telling me whether this is Gmail, Yahoo or anything for that matter. Only the first part of your email ID. Anyone? Okay. 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 Fair. Fair. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your responses. Sridhar 420 is one of the email ID. Thank you. So point is, you probably must be wondering that uh, there's a guest lecture and what kind of questions are being asked to all of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all these dots in my entire session. So there is a specific reason why I've asked 3 questions to all of you. And in between, after I start also, I'll be possibly asking you some questions. That time you can unmute yourselves and answer that also. So thank you for your responses and reactions. I can see that we have more than 60 excited participants already present. So I'm also eagerly waiting for this session. I was waiting for it. I'm also excited for the same. So let me just share the screen so that we can finally start off the formal presentation. So good afternoon and warm welcome once again. In case if someone has joined a little late, we all have gathered here on a virtual platform to understand the process, importance, significance of building a strong resume, which ultimately happens to be first step towards your successful career. As if anyone can unmute yourself and tell me, have you heard about a company called Batata Limited? BATATA, Batata Limited? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Have you heard about Tata Limited?
Yes, sir.
कैसे पता है Tata Limited क्या होता है? How do you know about the company? About their products, about their services? Have you visited that company ever?
No, sir.
So obvious answer you probably will have in your mind is, okay, no, we have not visited, but we talk about it, we hear about it, we see it on the television, we read it in the newspapers, etc., etc. Which means even before you have seen that company, you already know a lot of things about it. You already know the products they offer, you already know the services which they are offered. Now, what role resume plays in your entire career is exactly the same. Even before you go for the interview, even before you visit your office as a candidate for the interview, your resume is your pehchan. Your resume is your identity. That is the reason why we should have a resume which stands out, and we call it as a winning resume nowadays. And we are going to understand the process of creating such resume, which will make sure that you stand out in terms of hundreds of people who apply at various positions for that matter. So that's the agenda that I have set for today's session. Now, usually when we talk about resume or when we discuss about resume, it happens in the 3rd year of your graduation or a final year of your graduation, depending on whichever course you are pursuing. So the placement cell says that now we are going to start with the placements. That's where people think about resume and फिर वो सोचते हैं कि चलो अब resume बनाते हैं. But when you start writing your resume, you realize there is nothing to write. So how to bring right things on your resume is also something that I have kept as a part of discussion and agenda for today's session for that matter. So this is not going to about resume writing, font size kya hona chahiye, ye kya hona chahiye, wo kya hona chahiye. We are not going to talk about that. What we are going to discuss, and the reason why I said that this is a visionary management of your college is, even before you start writing your resume in the final year, which is like 2.5 years or more than 2 years from today, you should know that what you should have right things to write on your resume. So it's a process that you can utilize these 2 years or 2.5 years, whatever you have before you graduate, so that at the end of the day, when your resume goes to your prospective employer or a company or a corporate where you're applying, it gives you edge over others. So the agenda that I have set is, I'm going to start with some interesting facts about the resume. The difference, and the question which was already raised to me, difference क्या होता है between biodata, profile, CV and resume. And then we will look at the third component, arguably the most important one, is in the form of pillars or components of your resume for that matter. And then, of course, I have kept some time reserved for questions and answers if at all we come across any. Sounds good? All of you are ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can see some excitement and some answers coming in. Fair. Thank you so much. I expect more and more students reacting themselves so that at least I will have some kind of a feeling that I'm in front of you and having some conversation with young and vibrant students of Goa and Vidya Prabodhini College for that matter. So let's look at some interesting facts which we probably have not come across before. What we generally think is that resume में सब कुछ लिखना चाहिए, because for my 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, whatever achievements I have done in my life, all of them should be reflected. Boss, no one has time in the world to look at it. The average time spent by your recruiter to look at your resume is 5 to 7 seconds. Now, if that's the case, then we should always look at what right things we should have. The reason why we are talking about right things is because no one has time to look at extra things that you are writing, unnecessary things which you are writing on your resume and making it a lengthy one. I sometimes come across a lot of funny things written on the resume. Unfortunately, we are on virtual platform. Otherwise, I carry those resumes with me or those biodatas with me and show people what funny things they write. Many of you feel that having photograph is the most professional thing that you can do. So बहुत लोग जाते हैं blazer में, suit में अपना formal photo खिंचवाते हैं and then they put it as a part of their resume. 88% rejection if you put your photos on your resume. It's big no. We are not interested as a recruiter in looking at your attire or anything else for that matter. We are looking at a candidate who is skilled enough, who is knowledgeable enough, who is fit enough for whatever profile I am looking at. I was asking about your email addresses and barring 2 email IDs which I have got as answers, all of them were non-professional or unprofessional email IDs. So many of them have written possibly their birth date as part of their email ID. Some of you write the year in which you have started your email ID for that matter, etc., etc. So all those alpha numerical email IDs are not considered as the professional ones. You should have a simple email IDs like I have. So for example, my email ID is atul.a.sathe@gmail.com. Now whether it's Gmail, Ymail or whatever, that's not important here, but avoid having alphanumerical email IDs. Avoid having very interesting email IDs like dhinchakpuja@gmail.com or if someone say rakesh007@ymail.com. All these are treated as unprofessional ones and 75% of your resumes will be discarded even before you are looked at. Now you would probably say, sir, there's no tension because now I have my chacha working here, I have my mama working here, and I have my elder cousin working there, etc., etc. Gone are those days. Now we are looking at something called ATS. Please batao, naam suna hua ya suna? What is ATS? And I'm not referring to anti-terrorism squad over here. It is applicant tracking software. So we are in the age or we are in the era where your resumes will not be looked at by human beings. They are tracked by the softwares. That's why all these minute things I have identified for all of you and shown to you as interesting facts for that matter. So these are small things we tend to ignore, but they ultimately make lot of difference whether your resume is passing the test of applicant tracking software or not passing the test. So your ATS, that is applicant tracking software, eliminates 75% of the applications by default. So now what we are going to understand in next few slides is how to remain in that 25%, which is passing the test of your applicant tracking software for that matter. So if you have to do that, we need to understand the conceptual difference between some of the synonyms which are shown to us. What you see on your screen now is something termed as biodata. And on the right hand side, you see that there is a place for the photograph as well. So biodata pe photograph allowed hota hai, resume pe photograph is not allowed. And many times we see biodata and get confused and used resume as synonym to each other. So if you look at the content and information that is demanded in biodata is more or less personal in nature. There are only four aspects or important things for which biodata is demanded. So if you are applying for a government job, you require a biodata. If you are applying for a banking job, you require a biodata. If you are applying at universities, if you are applying at education sector, what you require is biodata. These are three professional reasons for which biodata is required. And the fourth reason for which you prepare a biodata is whenever you want to upload your profile on Shaadi.com. Apart from these four reasons, no one demands biodata nowadays. Now you probably would wonder कि सर क्या फर्क पड़ता है, हमने biodata ऐसा title लिखा, information तो we are ultimately giving the right one, right? But remember there is application tracking system. You write an email, please find attach my biodata, you are out of the process. Because biodata is not meant when you are applying for corporates for that matter. So everything created has a specific purpose. If we do not understand the purpose for which it is created, it is going to lead to problems and issues in the future. I'm sure today a lot of students will get this insight, this new and extra information, so that when they are in FYs, what I understand is all FY students are attending. I'm very, very happy that I'm talking to all FY students, because before they start making the mistakes only, today you will get what is right. Because once you get used to what is wrong, eliminating that and establishing what is right is even more challenging at your age, because your age is such that you are rebellious. So you always feel हम जो करेंगे वही right है. मैंने यहाँ पे देखा है, मैंने Google पे देखा है, but that's not how it works. We are connected with a lot of corporates, so we understand कि resume में देखा क्या जाता है. And today I'm going to focus and concentrate even on that particular part as well. So get out of your mind that biodata and resumes are same. They serve different purpose. The second thing that many times creates confusion in our mind is something called profile. So what I send Arun sir is my profile for my professional introduction. So it's not talking about my detailed qualifications. It's not talking about my detailed achievements, etc., etc. It's only focusing and concentrating on what milestones you have achieved in your professional career. There is no personal information as there is no date of birth required. There is no marital status required. ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग बनाते हैं. All those things are not required when you are drafting a profile. So profile could be half a page or a 3/4 page for that matter, depending on how much work experience and achievements you have in your life. I'm sure each one of you who is attending this session will create a strong profile over a period of time. So remember, resume अलग चीज होती है, लेकिन हमें profile भी develop करना पड़ता है, and it's a professional document that you are creating for yourselves. Of course, after you start working and 2-3 years का experience you accumulate, once you do that, start building your profile as well. So sir was kind enough to read my introduction, and I have been national level speaker for these kind of areas of resume building. So that's how I am also building my profile and adding different aspects and facets to that for that matter. So profile also serves a different purpose, has nothing to do with your resume, nothing to do with your biodata for that matter. Now the third thing which is most confusing is CV. इसलिए मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कितने लोगों ने CV बनाया है, and some of you were courageous enough to answer affirmative and they said yes, हमने हमारा CV बनाया है. Now CV or curriculum vitae as we call it is usually prepared by someone who is applying for job change or promotions. So if you're applying for a managerial post or you're applying for being director of the company, you're applying for a senior management level position, that's where your CVs are prepared. And if all of you are students of FY BCom, I'm sure no one has no one probably would have applied ever for director or a senior managerial position. तो लफड़ा यहीं पे होता है that we many times call our resume as CV and say CV बनाया है, but that's not called curriculum vitae. What you have prepared is called something else. Now you probably would have realized that अब हम जिसको बायोडेटा कह रहे थे वो बायोडेटा है नहीं, उसको भी रेज्यूमे कहते हैं. हम जिसको CV कह रहे थे that is also going to be something different. So the purpose of CV is when you're applying for a promotions, when you're applying for academic positions of dean or BOS for universities, that's where CVs are demanded. CV usually is long affair, so it's not precise or concise. It runs into 2 pages, 3 pages, depending on how much skills and experience you have gathered over a period of time. It gives a lot of importance about your achievements and the talents and specific skills. So CV में you will not write about 10 standard में कितना marks मिला था, 12 standard में कितना marks मिला था, graduation में कितना marks मिला था. All those things are not expected here. So you talk about your highest possible qualification. If you see, I have given one format of the CV as well. So you have only one thing that you have identified. More importance is given to your experience component, because ultimately you are targeting higher position, you are targeting a managerial position. So all those who have said yes that we have prepared CV, I'm sure must have got some more insight that what they have prepared is not considered as CV. Now again you will have a question in your mind कि सर क्या फर्क पड़ता है, हमने इसको नाम CV दे दिया, information तो हम सही लिख रहे हैं ना. But again that problem will arise. You will email your organization and say that please find attach my CV. The moment software reads attach your CV for a fresher's position, you are out of the race. So because of this technology and use of applicant softwares, tracking softwares, we have to be extra careful with reference to each and every word that we are including on your resume for that matter. Now with this conceptual clarity with reference to the synonyms and other things and other aspects that we have, let's now move towards the basic understanding of what resume actually means. And then of course we will go for the components of your resumes. That's the core part of my presentation for that matter. Are you all with me? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So finally, जिसका इंतजार हो रहा था, we are coming across something called resume for that matter. It should be concise. It should be brief. We have already read the average time taken is 5 to 7 seconds. So if you make it 4 pages, 5 pages, no one has time to read it. The wrong interpretation we have or misunderstanding that we have is that we should write long resume. We should include everything that we have achieved over a period of time. No one gives damn to it. No one has time to read about it. The whole objective of your resume, and I mentioned about that in my introduction part also, is to create excitement in the mind of your recruiter so that you get an interview call. Once you get an interview call, you have another opportunity to present yourself and talk about yourself. So resume is not the only opportunity. Remember, a lot of people have that impression that resume में सब कुछ लिख दो because बाद में chance मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, who knows. But don't be under that wrong impression. You have to prepare your resume which is maximum of one side. One A4 side is a maximum length of your resume. You have to compress, you have to confine your achievements, goals, objectives, everything over a period of last 21 years. That's the age when you graduate usually, in that one A4 size. That's why it is important for us to start elimination process and filtering process that, okay, if I have 10 things, out of which 2 things, 3 things, 4 things are most relevant, which I should display and disclose on my resume for that matter. So the pillars of your resume is what we are going to understand in a few minutes on few next slides, which I'm going to show to all of you. So are you all clear with the difference between biodata, purpose of biodata, purpose of resume, CVs, etc. Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So many of you have got lot of clarification in terms of the concepts of all these areas which we loosely use as synonyms to each other. Now let's take one step further. What does this resume technically mean? It's basically a sheet that or a summary of important facts about you. Now, important professional facts about you, no personal information is required. Tell me honestly, only yes or no. Whatever biodata you have prepared, whatever CV you have prepared, resume, जिसने भी हाँ बोला था, yes answer दिया था. How many of you have included languages known in your document? How many of you have included your religion in your document? How many of you have included your marital status in your document? How many of you have included, very interesting, your hobbies and interest in your document? Honestly give me answers, yes or no. जिन्होंने वो बनाया है, ये सब चीजें उन्होंने लिखी है कि नहीं लिखी है? Honestly you give me answer, yes or no. I don't know any one of you personally anyways. How many of you have written this marital status, languages known, interest, hobbies, references? किसी ने भी नहीं लिखा है. I am very certain.
Written languages.
Okay. इंटरेस्ट लिखा कि नहीं? ट्रेकिंग अच्छा लगता है, रीडिंग अच्छा लगता है. करेक्ट.
Yes.
So many of us write these things. They are absolutely not required to be written and included on your resumes. Languages known, of course, can become a little bit of extra edge and a skill, but all other hobbies, interests, your telephone number and everything, all these things are not required to be mentioned also on your resume for that matter. Another word of caution, that a single mistake in a grammar or a spelling error may ultimately lead to rejection of your resume. Because your resume speaks a lot of things about your personality. So you have to be extra careful, extra cautious about it when you are drafting your resume, when you are formulating your resume for that matter. So my question to you is, and I want you to answer this very, very quickly, very simple question. I keep on asking a lot of questions. That's how I will keep my crowd alive as well. If you are not feeling well, if you have tough cold fever, nowadays if you have tough cold fever और भी ज़्यादा डर लगता है, what you will do? You sit at home or you go to a doctor?
We'll go to the doctor.
If you are in legal trouble, कायदे कानून के मामले में फंस गए हैं, what you will do? Sit at home or go to a lawyer?
We'll go to the lawyer.
Go to a lawyer.
Absolutely right. So if you are stuck in the process of creating a winning resume, what you will do? Sit at home or go to the professional?
We'll go to the professional.
We say, but many times we are hesitant about it. We feel क्या जरूरत है ये सब करने की? मेरे achievements मेरे से बेहतर कौन जानता है? My achievements, my experience, my skills, I'm the best person who knows about it. How can other person guide me about it? But don't be under that wrong impression. If you are seeking help from doctors and lawyers who are professionals, there is no harm in seeking help in drafting your resume if at all you are looking at lucrative employment opportunities in the future. And I also offer a lot of consultancy services for drafting and building a strong resume for yourselves. So you possibly should look at some professionals, not essentially every time, but if need be, you should not hesitate to take help from the professionals is what I want to reiterate over here. I'll talk about a little bit of origin of your resume. It fundamentally means, it's a French word that means a summary. So it was evolved long back in 1482. Not that important for us because we are the ones who are in 21st century and thinking about future. So origin कैसे हुआ, meaning क्या है, and all those things are not that relevant for us. So I'm not focusing much on the origin part of your resume, how it started and etc. We will live more in present and think more about future as well. Now I'm coming to the core part of my presentation. So if you have paid 100% attention so far in this session, it's time to pay 120% attention, because now I'm going to discuss about what is exactly looked at in your resume for that matter. So these are 4 components, 4 pillars: experience, education, honors and community services, and skills and activism. The first 2 are termed as hard pillars, and the other 2 are termed as soft pillars. But as you can see on the right hand side on my slide, that we have a jigsaw puzzle, and if all pieces are at the right place, in the right angle, in the right proportion, then ultimately it creates a beautiful picture for you. Similarly, if we are looking at a comprehensive resume, all these 4 components are required to be there. So these 4 components carry lot of weightage on your resume. If you want to pass your ATS filter, that is applicant tracking software ka filter, first 2 components, that is experience and education, ultimately become the success mantra for you. But having other 2 will always make your resume look stand out. So I'm going to discuss all 4 components one by one in detail so that we understand the significance of this. The first one is experience, and all of us, and when I was in my final year, no one was there to tell me कि resume में ये होना चाहिए. So I typically followed that process कि अभी apply करना है तो बैठो, and then I realized that there is nothing else to write. So fortunately, I have few achievements to write it, but many of us may not essentially have it. That's why we should take cautious efforts to ensure that we have all these 4 components in place. The another confusion that we have in our mind, or it becomes like a vicious circle of poverty, which you probably would have studied in economics in your first year of junior college, that because of poverty, poverty is there, and because poverty is there, poverty is there. So it's a cause and effect. So experience भी कई बार हमको लगता है ऐसा ही है. Whenever we apply, people say आपको experience होना चाहिए. Now, because you do not have experience, you do not get jobs, and because you do not have jobs, you do not have experience. So how to break that circle? How to break those shackles? The answer to that is you should at least have 2 to 3 internships during your undergraduate program which you are pursuing. That will break the shackles, and you will have something better, something effective, something tangible, something valuable to write under your experience component for that matter. Now you are in first year, we are moving towards Diwali break is what I possibly understand. So you can think about it, you can ponder upon this and plan how you can do a lot of internships. Now there is a lot of confusion about internships. So now I'm going to tell you how your internships are looked at from your employer's point of view. And then I will also say that how internships are important from you as an individual also. Many times we complain that what we study in academics is not used in industry. Internships serve as bridging up the gap between what you study, what you do in academics, and what is expected in the corporates. So someone who comes with internship experience, the employers also know that you may not have done great job in terms of knowledge and value addition, but at least you are exposed to work culture in the corporate. You are a person who has worked already with the team. You will know how to communicate with people. So all those things add a lot of value to your resume for that matter. So in which area you are doing internship does not get a lot of value. The fact that you have done internship, which means you have shown intention to learn something. That is how it is interpreted if you have internship experience on your resume for that matter. Now there are certain other aspects also about internships. Because I have said कि 3 internship होना चाहिए, तो what people tend to do, and I have seen that happening practically, that people will do 15 दिन का internship, एक internship हो गया, then Diwali break में they will do another 15 din ka internship. That's not how it works. You have to do internship which carries weight. Now, what kind of internship carries weight for you? The simple answer is you should have internship which is minimum of 6 weeks. 1.5 months minimum internship. Longer is better. So the duration also you keep in mind. Doing 8 days, 10 days internship is not going to help you. That's not going to add any value on your resume. So even if you have 10 internship of 10 days, it's big no-no. You should always have minimum 6 months of internships. And there are a lot of internship opportunities online also available nowadays. So during this pandemic also, a lot of students have done internships online. And now with a lot of pride, they talk about it. They write on their resume under the experience column for that matter. So you get hands-on experience of the competitive job market. It also helps you to evaluate, to look at internship from that perspective also. You should do your internship in multifaceted areas. Now, what I mean by multifaceted areas, even if you are BCom student or you want to do your specialization letter in finance for that matter, you should do something internship related to logistics, internship related to marketing, internship related to salesmanships, etc. The reason is that today, when you are applying as a fresher, you should be well aware of different functions of your businesses. So if you are doing your internships in different areas, what in principle you are doing is you are keeping your options open. You have little bit of internship experience in marketing also, HR also, finance also, is always going to give you better opportunities for jobs in the future. More importantly, it helps you to evaluate what you are exactly liking. Whether you are liking accounts, whether you are liking finance, whether you are liking HR, marketing, so that you can plan your long-term career accordingly. So, जैसे अभी T20 का वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा है ना, पहले प्रैक्टिस मैच होता है, बाद में मेन वर्ल्ड कप स्टार्ट हुआ. Similarly, you can always look at these internships as your practice matches before you look at and have that final goal of taking that World Cup trophy home. So that's how you should look at your internships. Doing it in multiple segments and facets are very, very important for you so that you can keep options open. Have you heard about something called bandwidth? नाम सुना हुआ या सुना? It's a technical term we use along with reference to computers and all. Bandwidth सुना है आप लोगों ने?
No, sir.
So, in what sense we look at bandwidth as a concept is in terms of reception of internet. Bandwidth जितना ज़्यादा होगा, उतना internet reception is better. So, internship gives you opportunity to broaden your bandwidth so that you become more receptible and more acceptable for your prospective employers for that matter. So don't complain that we don't have job, that's why there is no experience, and we don't have experience, that's why we don't get job. Internships can always act as a something that can bridge up the gap. Education, what you feel is this is easiest. कोई tension नहीं है. We come across a standard table under education column. Starting with your 10 standard का marks, first column में लिखते हैं SSC, second column में लिखेंगे which board से we have done our 12 standard, कोई लिखेगा CBSE, कोई लिखेगा Goa board, etc. Third column में लिखेंगे percentage कितना मिला, fourth column में लिखेंगे कौन से year में हमने 10 standard complete किया है. It is big no. Such kind of tables are not required to be prepared on your resume. So education column looks very simple, but there are certain 2-3 different parameters which are looked at on your resume when you are drafting your education component. So basic BCom degree, BMS, BAF or whatever other programs you are doing, that will become your qualification, no doubt about that. But if you are getting exposure to information technology, so let's say you are doing, if you are a commerce student, say for example, you are doing Tally, if you are learning advanced Excel, that should also be part of your education column. You should learn to do a lot of certificate programs. Many online programs are also available. Some of them are paid, some of them are even free for that matter. I'm taking some names, but I'm not confining you कि इतना ही हो सकता है. बहुत सारे options होते हैं, but I'll just give you 2-3 important names. So if you go to the website of Ministry of Human Resources Development, MHRD, you will find there are Swayam programs which are there. There are MOOCs which are available. Coursera offers a lot of courses. Udemy offers a lot of courses, and they are pocket friendly also. So such kind of certificate programs, and that too certificate programs done in various areas other than your specialization, will bring a lot of value to your resume. It shows your employer or a prospective employer that you have a zest to learn and you want to make yourself a 360-degree candidate for applying a job. So soft skills are there, your computer skills or IT skills are there, certificate programs, these things make a lot of difference. So you have more than 2 years with you, you have a Diwali break coming in, you can always start doing these certificate programs simultaneously. There are a lot of other management schools who also offer diploma courses for 3 months and 6 months and certificate programs. They are also very useful. Many of them are even distance learning programs. So even if you are sitting in Goa and you want to do it along with SPGen in Mumbai, for example, or you want to do it in Wellinkers, Mumbai, for example, you are free to do that. So abundance of opportunities do exist. It's up to us how do we want to grab it so that we have a winning resume at the end of the day. So that's about your education component. Don't be satisfied with only the degree that you are doing. Add this different feathers to your cap so that your cap looks different and it looks attractive as well. The third one is honors in community services. At Vidya Prabodhini College, it's a part of a culture that they believe in giving back to the society. So we all keep on doing a lot of good work and community service. For next couple of minutes, I might sound little harsh or little selfish, but that's the fact of the life. You should get into honors and community service, which you can show on your resume. Very interesting statement. I'm not saying दिखाने के लिए काम करो. I'm saying do such work which you can show on your resume for that matter. So if you're doing good work, we all are good by nature, good at heart. But if you cannot show that on your resume, ultimately that does not serve the purpose. So what you have to realize is the community service also something which you get certificate for, which you get letter for. I was referring to doing some internships. You can do some internship with organizations like National Association of Blind. You can do your internship with Red Cross. You can do it with Rotrax and etc. etc. So these are the organizations which are pan-India. Some of them are global and international organizations as well. So having certificates from them, having credentials from them always adds a lot of value to your resume for that matter. Now, what is the importance of having this community service on your resume? Because it shows a different facet of your personality to your employer. So your employer understands that he is not only hiring a manager, he is hiring a manager with the heart. That's why it is important to have these honors in community services as part and parcel of your resume for that matter. So whatever achievements you have, whatever prizes you have won, or whatever milestones you have achieved in community services, please make sure that you bring that on your resume for that matter. But the takeaway from this particular slide is whatever you are writing should be supplemented by a document. You can't just make claims without having any credentials or documents in place for that matter. So it shows a softer side of your personality. That's why we say it's a soft pillar. The fourth pillar is in terms of acquiring a lot of skills and activities. So let's say Vidya Prabodhini College has to organize a conference. Now there should be 100 students who are ready to organize that particular conference. So many times we are happy that I have participated in a seminar, I have participated in a conference. That is fair. That shows that you are eager to learn. No doubt about that. But what we are looking at on your resume is your leadership skill. What we are looking on your resume is your communication skill. What we are looking at in your resume is your skills for planning and organizing and execution. That's why you should take part in all such activities, not only in the role of a participant, but in the role of being leader. So if you are organizing a intercollegiate festival or intercollegiate activity, that shows that you have taken a leadership role. That shows your skills of organizing, etc., etc. So when we talk about skills, they should not be specified. They should be reflected from the activities that you have got involved in. तो स्किल्स का ऐसा कुछ अलग कॉलम नहीं होता है. आपने जो एक्टिविटी में रोल प्ले किया है, that reflects or that should reflect your skills and your abilities for that matter. So more than passive participative role, organizing role, or you have participated in debates, or you have participated in some kind of intellectual group discussions, that shows your skills and abilities of problem solving and resilience for that matter. And they are very, very crucial to be incorporated on your resume. So that's the fourth and a second soft pillar or a component of your resume for that matter. So if you have these four pieces of jigsaw puzzle, and if you make them if you incorporate them in the right proportion, then you will always have a winning resume. So the thought that I want to share with all of you, the most crucial and the important one, is that it's not when you are in TY and when you're applying for your resume, you should think about it. As soon as this particular session gets over, you should start planning how your resume should look like after 2.5 years when you actually graduate and start applying for your jobs, or maybe even you're applying for your further studies. The similar things will be applicable. So what resume building process we are talking about is applicable if you're applying abroad, if you're applying in India for your further studies, or even if you're applying for your placements or jobs for that matter. So please make sure that you have taken down all these points, all these pillars and parameters which are used as pointers for your resume. Now let's look at a little bit of technical details of it. I've already said that it's going to be a maximum of 1 A4 size. Make use of active verbs because you have a limitation. You cannot write everything. That's why I said that having someone who is there to guide you, your teachers can definitely play that role as well. You can seek help from the professionals, no doubt about that. So each and every word that you are writing is going to be very, very crucial and very, very important. So these are a couple of technical points I thought I will just share with you. I will bring that to your notice. Now there are certain misconceptions we have about resume writing, which also will complete the process, because building के बाद resume writing तो करना ही है ना ultimately. So let's also understand misconceptions in 5 minutes or something, and then we will move towards closing of this particular session so that I can provide some time for all of you for questions and answers as well. The first one, I've already mentioned that resume should have your entire work history. Absolutely not required. No one has time to read what you have done and what you have achieved for all these years. Important milestones, important achievements is what you should ultimately look at when you are writing your resume. Education column also, as I said, 10 standard marks, no one is going to look at it. Top 2 high qualifications. So if you are a fresh graduate, your final year degree marks is what they always look at. Your junior KG ka marks and your senior KG ka marks are not given any importance on that. Your resume will be read from start to finish. Forget about it. We have already discussed, no one has time. Any resume template will work, and one size fits all approach. I will take these 2 points together. Now many of us have a wrong impression that एक बार resume बन गया, बात खत्म. It's end of the story there. I will shoot emails to 100 different organizations and finally I will definitely get placed. My best wishes to you if you are having this kind of a thought process or a mindset. because that's not going to work for you. It's your goal, it's your achievement. If you're applying for a marketing profile, your resume should be different. If you're applying for an HR profile, your resume should be different. Now you will probably wonder that ultimately मैंने BCom किया है तो BCom किया है. How does it matter whether I'm applying for HR profile or a marketing profile or a logistic profile for that matter? But if your education column cannot be changed, your skill column can be changed. Your activities which you have done, you can modify them. So you have to customize your resume depending on where you are applying. If you are applying for a post of advertising, or you are applying in the advertisement segment, or you are applying for equity research, you cannot submit same resume. It is a crime if you do that. So all size fits, one size fits all approach is not the right attitude to look at it. We should always customize it. Small modifications. So 80%, 90% probably will remain same, but tweaking your resume 10%, 15%, which is suitable for the profile for which you are applying, is the key to success in terms of your getting your interview call based on your resume for that matter. The last one I want to mention is your resume should be creative. Fair. Creative does not mean colorful. Creative does not mean informal. Resume still is a formal document. You can't have multiple colors involved in it. It's not a rainbow. So it has to be a formal document. I just give one simple example. One student was very creative. One of my students was actively involved in a lot of blood donation activities, and he got some award also from the local authorities. So he mentioned that in a red color because it's related to blood donation. Someone mentioned environmental related activities in green color because it's environment. That creativity you can show once you get the job, fair. But if you make a colorful resume, it's a big no-no. It's a formal document, and you should always be careful about maintaining professionalism and maintaining tidiness in terms of your resume for that matter. So these are some common misconceptions we have about resume writing. I thought I will also give that angle to you so that you, when you start writing it also, you should be clear about what is written. There are certain resume formats. As you can see in information, only address, phone number, and your email ID is expected. No personal details are required, like your interest, hobbies, marital status, etc. Skills are there. Employment history, that's how concise and precise thing. Another format is where you are adding something called LinkedIn. So if you do not have a LinkedIn profile, it's time to create it. It's a professional network, helps you to get connected to a lot of professionals globally. Education, as you can see, only top 2 things are written, not that table what you probably would have prepared so far. So these are some of the formats. Of course, I am not taking any credit. I have mentioned from where I have taken these particular formats. So there are a lot of online websites where formats are available, but templates are not available free of cost, many of them. So you have to choose right template, because if you observe, I'll just go back. This one was specifically meant for a product manager. This one is for a marketing consultant. So different kind of roles will require different kind of templates. So this is little blur one, but I thought I will just bring it to your notice. Only one thing, your expertise are mentioned on a scale basis. So 5 may say 3, 5 may say 4. You can give a self-declaration about your expertise or skills for that matter. So that's why I thought I'll just bring some of the formats also in front of you. If you have any questions or queries, now you can start thinking about your questions. But before I get into it, I will focus and concentrate on some of the interesting aspects which I have not jotted down that on the slides per se, but there is something called new age resume. Now, what do you mean by new age resume? So all your Facebook, your WhatsApp, or your so many other things, you have LinkedIn, is a professional network though, but you have Instagram, etc. So what you keep on writing on that also creates impression about you in the mind of a prospective employer. Now you will say that sir हम profile lock कर देंगे हमारे Facebook का. Don't get into all that. You just today you do one exercise. Go to Google, type your own name or type my name, for example, Atul Sathe, and you will get all information that is posted on various social medias. So what you write on your social media also is a new age resume. I'm sure you have come across incidences where people are sacked because of their comments on Facebook or because what they have written on the Twitter. In fact, a few months back, the captain and the vice captain of England cricket team was about to get sacked because of the old tweets which they had. So it's very, very important that we should take cautious efforts in terms of what we are mentioning, what we are writing on social media as well. I thought I will also bring that interesting fact to your notice that having right things in place as far as social media is concerned is also very, very important and very, very relevant nowadays because your employers are looking at your social media profiles as well. So having said this, I thought this is what is important for you to understand in terms of the process of building your resume. If you have any questions, because it's sharp 1 o'clock and 12 to 1 was our planned session. So I complete my presentation formally over here. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'll stop my presentation here. If you have questions, thoughts, comments, reactions, feedback about this particular session, now the session is open to all the participants for their comments, thoughts, reactions, questions, whatever they have for me. So if you have any suggestions, thoughts, comments, if you have any feedback about immediate reactions, whether this was useful or no, you can put it in the chat box. I will take it as a feedback and always looking at it as a learning experience, each session that I conduct. So your feedback is most valuable for me.
Sir, your mic is on.
Sir, your mic is muted.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I can see some positive comments coming in. So if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, feel free to ask. The forum is open for you. We can possibly wait for a few minutes or else we can then move towards the closing of the session accordingly.
Dear students, if you have any doubts, questions to be asked, you can please ask now. Atul sir, Manik Chauhan has asked a question.
Okay. So if someone has worked as a freelancer in the past, does that add a value to the CV if it is added in the experience column? So if you have done if you have done any freelancing work, if it's, so there are two types of freelancing works you can possibly do. One is a commercial freelancer, other one is a non-commercial freelancer. So if you have done a commercial freelancing work, that definitely can be included in the experience column. But if you are doing a freelancing work and mentioning that in the experience column, along with that, you have to also give the references so that the person, the recruiters can cross-check. Because if you just claim that I've done X, Y, Z and there are no references, then it becomes a problem. So if you are naming a particular organization with which you have done the freelancing activity, which is fair. But if you are done a freelancing activity on an individual level, then you have to also give references. But yes, definitely it matters because that shows that some kind of a work exposure that you have. So you can definitely add that in the experience column for that matter.
Anyone else with a question? So shall we conclude now?
Yeah, the session is open for all of you now. If there are no questions or comments or anything, we are good to close, I believe.
Yeah. So, dear students, as we have gone through, quite an informative session, this would definitely help us in building our own resumes. So on behalf of Prabodhan Education Societies, Vidya Prabodhini College of Commerce, Education and Computer and Management, I take this opportunity to extend our words of thanks to Atul sir for his time and his valuable words to us. I also take this opportunity to thank our principal sir, Dr. Bhushan Bhave, who has been continuously motivating us for conducting such online and offline lectures for our students, which would be additional benefit of to the students. I also take this opportunity to thank all the non-teaching staff who has helped us in organizing this guest lecture in smooth manner. And finally, I thank all the participants for patient listening and your participation in this wonderful guest lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you, dear students. We can log out now. Thank you, everyone.
So just a small thing that I wanted to share. So I'll just share my PPT again, and then we can close the session
Yes,
because you have
yes,
already.
yes, sir.
So you have already given a formal vote of thanks, but just a small 1 minute thing from my end, so we can then think of closing the session here.
Yes, sir.
So I express now my sincere gratitude towards the management of Vidya Prabodhini College, the principal and the faculty coordinators. I can see a couple of faculties also attending this particular session. So thank you so much for showing that trust and confidence that I can give justice to this particular topic and inviting me all the way from Mumbai. And I'm very, very happy and excited to be associated with your college. And as principal sir also said, Bhave sir said that once things are back to normal, I'll be more than happy to visit your college personally and have interactions with all of you. Thank you so much, all the participants who have been patiently listening, and at the same time, they were active enough as well. So I'm just sharing some of my coordinates for your reference. Feel free to get in touch for any future references and queries if you have related to the process of resume building. As I said, that LinkedIn profile nowadays is very, very important. So you can always create your LinkedIn profile. You can stay connected, stay in touch through emails, mobile, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., etc. So thank you so much for having me here, and all of you have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. We now conclude this session. Thank you, everyone.